Welcome back to One Comic Book a Day, where I've had COVID for the past few days and I'm only able to record today because I can get through a sentence without hacking. It's been it's been a 2 weeks, my friends. It's just been 2 weeks. Well, let's get back to our regularly scheduled Superman comic a day, or One Comic Book a Day. I'm not clear enough to know what my channel is anymore. Okay, so today we're covering Superman number 20, part 3, Herman the Heroic, which is more like a Silver Age, silly, kind of fun Superman story than it is like this weird Golden Age stories we've been having. I almost kind of enjoy it, but I just kind of don't understand the point of it by the end. You'll understand while I'm trying to explain this plot. So it starts off with actual fun, with Lois seeing Superman arrive into the Daily Planet window. She runs into where she saw Superman, but finds Clark instead. We actually get a story where Lois is suspicious that Clark might be Superman, which we haven't really had other than her thinking it every now and then. And even that I'm using hyperbole because it's been maybe 2 or 3 times in the 100 plus stories we have read. So Lois is now going to try to figure out if Superman is Clark Kent or Clark Kent is Superman. That's not exactly going to pay off in any way. It's actually going to be forgotten pretty quickly. They hear a story that Superman is on the bridge, which gets a suspicion off Clark, which is weird because Clark is here. So they go over to the bridge, which happens to be right near the circus. This is very important, where Lois decides to lock Clark up into one of the big cages that are around. She doesn't decide to check what's in that cage because it turns out that's where big game animals are, specifically leopards and lions. So if Clark isn't actually Superman, he's going to die. Lois killed Clark to prove he's not Superman. Oh, that's great. But luckily, he happens to be Superman and is able to take care of the big cats, get out of the cage, and go check on what's happening. There's a guy dressed up like a superhero who goes by Herman. Herman the Heroic. He's wearing like a big red suit, blue cape. He kind of reminds me of this like superhero troll doll they used to have. I had it as a kid, and for some reason I cut off all its hair and took a Sharpie to it and made it all black. I don't know why I did that, but I think it was a better look. Herman tries to prove he's super heroic by jumping off the bridge, which he is not super heroic. He has no power, so Clark has to save him. While this is happening, some dude is trying to steal the leopards and the big cats from the circus. Superman has to get involved in that and is able to throw the cats back into the cage. And he sort of stops this guy, but it's a really weird framing to it because he tosses all the cats back into the cage. They're all safe and sound. He stops the guys, and we get like a news story in the next page about how cats have been stolen by this guy calling himself the Leopard. And it feels like, I don't know, they succeeded in this specific time? Or maybe they succeeded in other times, and that's what the news story is. But it does feel like Superman has failed, even though we just saw him succeed. It's just the oddest cut to the next scene. Anyway, Herman's now doing something with the circus. He's going to fight a leopard himself. Clark is worried about him until he finds out that it's an old, retired kind of leopard who has its teeth capped, so Herman can win this fight. We never actually get a whole understanding why Herman wants to be a superhero other than he just seems to want to be a superhero. He is like a big dumb lug. But the leopard, who needs a distraction to steal more cats, just wants to steal cats. It turns out he's a zookeeper later, or the director of the zoo, it's unclear. And I guess he just needs more cats? That's not explained. It's just like a dude wants to steal cats and a guy wants to be a superhero. We're going to give them no backstory to this motivation to explain it at all. They just want big cats and a guy wants to be a superhero. So to create the distraction, he switches out the old cat with a young cat with no cat teeth. So Superman has to get involved and save him, and we get sort of just the craziness of Superman flinging cats back into cages. Hopefully not hurting them, but he is spinning them around by their tails, so I guess that is animal abuse. Superman, of course, stops the leopard because the leopard's no actual threat to him. None of these big cats are a threat to him. And Herman gets to prove himself by fighting a big gorilla, which I thought was going to turn out to be a dude in a costume, but it never turns out to be. So how did he beat this gorilla, other than finding the super in him? But still, how did he fight the gorilla? And that's basically it from Superman number 20, Herman the Heroic. Just a bunch of silly things happening without any actual motivations. I'm still just unclear of what this story was. Like, why the big cats with the dude? It feels like 2 separate plots that they just kind of threw together. I don't know what to say. I'm so just flabbergasted by this story and why it exists and how you even come up with that. Anyway, that is it from this issue. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notification when a new video goes up. I'm hopefully back on track, even though I feel very sweaty and tired right now. I do this Monday through Friday, but Fridays is Bat Friday, where I cover a Batman story in either Detective Comics or Batman. Until next time, let us ponder the question, whatever did happen to the Man of Tomorrow? Also, how did he beat that gorilla? I really need to know this. Okay, have a great day.